I'm about to give you the ultimate study guide and hacks to get you thriving through your exams. You know what they say, confident girls don't gatekeep. So I'm gonna give you the ultimate recipe. I mean the ingredients. I mean everything you need to know that got me this and this. So you better make sure you have your pen and paper ready because I'm gonna spill all the juice. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, exam season is approaching us and we should be ready for the war. It's a war, okay? We're about to fight. So I'm gonna give you the weapons, I'm gonna give you everything you need for the war. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what was your favorite study hack or whatever hack that you think I didn't mention. Number one, plan your study session. You need to have time for your homeworks and have time for studying. See, studying is not the same as doing your homeworks, but doing your homeworks is actually the same as studying, because when you do your homeworks, you are actively recalling or actively participating in what you did today. That way it makes it easier for you to understand what you have learned and makes it easier for you to go deeper in details when studying. You have to make a to-do list. In this to-do list, include time for studying, include time for waking up, time for doing your bed, everything. When I talk about to-do list, I talk about your morning routine, your evening, your after school, your late night, whatever it is. Make a to-do list. While it is not simple to stay consistent in your to-do list, it's important and essential that you start practicing now. You can check out my video on how to make a schedule for every single day. There I discuss in details how to make your own personal schedule. In that schedule, you need to include time for studying. Now, you have to know your peak time for studying. You need to know whether you are able to study more effectively at night, in the evening, or early in the morning. Whatever time it is, you need to include it in your schedule. Now, let's say, for example, your aim each day is to study 4 hours. Then you need to say, I'm going to study for 4 hours today, and I'm going to dedicate 2 full hours to doing my homework. Sometimes our homeworks are more than that. You may maybe take 30 minutes, but do not compromise your study time. Rather, you compromise your TV time, but never your study time. Number 2, study smarter, not harder. Now, these are the guides that I used. Since grade 4, I've been studying with these methods, and I've learned new ones when I started high school, because in primary, it was much more easier as the content was much more digestible. But here in high school, it's dense. Hence why I'm going to give you these methods that you can use. First thing first, the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is not a study way, but is a way to manage your time. It is about setting a timer that, I'm going to study for like 25 minutes, then 5 minutes break, 25 minutes, then 5 minutes break. And after 4 repetitions, I can take a 10 minutes break and repeat. Like that. What I usually do is I take a 1 hour deep sesh, then 10 minutes break, 1 hour deep sesh, 10 minutes break, 1 hour deep sesh, then a 30 minutes break. You can do it however way you think it's much more easier, because that way you're also going to improve your focus span. Number 2, active recall and spaced repetition. Now, active recall is about actively recalling what you have learned. It's about question papers, it's about past questions, it's about activities, asking yourself questions, mind mapping, everything that has to do with asking yourself what you have learned. So the mistake that we usually do is to just study, write study notes, and we conclude that we're done. That's not how you study. You need to ask yourself questions. If you want to see those 100% and those distinctions, ask yourself questions. Now, off to spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is about doing something the same way repetitively. Let's, for example, today I'm doing study notes, and I'm gonna skip this day and do it here. Skip this day, I'm gonna start my questions, skip this day, it's the following week, we repeat the same thing. That's spaced repetition. It's basically about repeating the same content in different formulas on different days. You just space. Don't do it every single day, because sometimes you may have a mental blockage. Now, this is also my favorite method, summarizing your topic in 1 page. Your topic is long, your topic is large, but if you are able to summarize it into being something small, that means you understand that topic. If you make it longer, repeat, read, and try to summarize it again. Summarizing in one page is writing a topic and then you summarize it from your head. Okay, you summarize everything that you think is important and everything that you remember and learned. Mark it with the notes and see that, oh, I have highlighted this and that and that. Then you're good to go. Here's another of my favorite, my all-time favorite. This is what I'm going war to. Feynman technique. The Feynman technique suggests that teaching something makes you retain it longer in your memory, and it also proves the gaps that you have within your learning. So my LO teacher once said to us that you need to teach it to maybe like small kids, because you know that they love asking questions. Maybe talking to them about photosynthesis. One of them may ask you, oh, why can't I make food for myself? And then you tell them, no, it's because of you don't have chlorophyll and all of that and that and that. Feynman technique is best. Now the Feynman technique does go along with mind mapping and the whiteboard method. See the papers that you see that this is what I've been using for my Feynman technique, and I've also been using it for mind mapping, active recall, summary, and everything. But what I'm going to tell you about mind mapping is that it's just about breaking down your content into smaller, more manageable chunks. Now in mind mapping, this is how it works. You draw a typical mind map that you draw when you're doing essays, and in the middle you're going to write down the subject. Maybe let's say it's math, but I do not usually recommend mind mapping for math. But what would I say is physics. Let's say physics. Okay, you write down physics. You take down the first topic that you were trying to learn and summarize, put it there and break it into 3 chunks. On those chunks you can make it a broader web. On those web you can make it broader again. That way you learn it much more easier. Another method I just talked about is the whiteboard method. So the whiteboard method, not all of us have whiteboards, so hence why I use papers. Take white papers, paste it however you want. Pretend that you are a teacher teaching a class on the whiteboard. That's the idea. I use different colors so I can remember different types of topics, keywords, and whatever that I need to know. Last but not least, the traffic light method. So the traffic light method is good for note taking. So when I study, I write down what I'm about to study, right? Then I write it down. Then you take the different colors, the 3 colors. You take red, green, and orange. But because I do not have a red highlighter, I use different colors. So I'm like, green is what I know, orange partially, and then pink is something that I'm clueless on. So I'll just write down every single thing I'm about to study and then highlight it. I'm gonna start with the ones that I do not know. We usually start with the ones that we know, but it's very important that you start with the ones that you don't know, then come with the ones that you partially know, and then the ones you know that you are good at. I've been using this method since grade 4. This one has been working wonders for me. Number 3, avoid distractions. Distractions are one of the main reasons why we procrastinate and do not study efficiently. But then you ask yourself, how do I avoid distractions? Like, it's so hard. I have a short focus span and my brain is just cracked. Let me tell you, put your phone on do not disturb. If not, give your phone to somebody else. What I usually do sometimes, okay, I don't do this all the time. I give my phone sometimes to my mom and I'm like, take this phone. I'm gonna sit in my bedroom. 5 minutes later, I'm bored. What do I decide to do? I decide to take out my books and start studying. That's the biggest method I'm gonna give you. Another one, your friends could be calling you, but let me tell you, have self-respect. You need to tell your friends and set boundaries with them that, okay, this time I'm studying. You cannot call me, you cannot come to me. Just let me be, let me study. And even if you hear them calling you, put on some music. I also do have a little brother who can be annoying and can distract me when I'm studying, and that would lead me to doom scrolling. I guess that's an excuse. But once I find that similar small excuse, I will use it. So what do? I pomodoro it away. I listen to music and I try to get my mind off it. In order for me to avoid distractions, I usually promise myself something great. I'll be like, you see, if you study for like 6 days straight, on the 7th day, you're going to spoil yourself. You're going to sit in bed, rot, wake up anytime that you want. And all week long, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about the reward I'm going to give myself. Or sometimes I tell my mom that, okay, if I stay consistent on this and that and that, what are you going to do for me? And she'll be like, I'll let you rest. And I'm like, okay. That's all that's in my mind right now. All I'm thinking about is the reward that I'm going to grant myself if I stay consistent. Number 4, take notes the right way. So when studying, we love taking notes, okay? I cannot study without my notes, but you need to learn how to take down notes the right way. Tell me, why did I learn about taking notes the right way last year? Term 4. So I'm gonna give you the Cornell note-taking method. So Cornell suggests that we take notes this way. You have 3 sections on your paper. These are your main notes. This is your summary. These are the keywords or the formulas. Usually call these the details. So maybe let's say you're taking down notes for math. You're going to write down your main notes, your summary, your formulas, your keywords, or whatever the small details are. Like I have mentioned, you need to color code your notes. What I usually do, this one is not really related to traffic light method, but when you color code your notes, you know that these are your keywords, these are the words that you do not know, these are the topics, this is what, this is that, this is that. Well, just color code your notes however that you want. Number 5, boost your brain power. Your brain needs a lot of power. Your brain is literally the main source of studying. So without your brain having power, there's no point and there's no use in studying. Sleep as much as you can. When you find the chance to sleep, okay? Stop scrolling, don't call anyone, sleep. Well, this is something that I haven't prioritized so far, but I'm still trying. You need to prioritize sleep because it retains much more memory, more brain function, more focus. You need that amount good of sleep. Drink plenty of water, move your body as much as you can, and eat nourishing food. Well, the nourishing food, eat a lot of protein. I'm not talking about going on a specific diet. I'm talking about eating plenty of protein as you can. Protein is so good for your brain. I'm talking about eggs, I'm talking about milk, I'm talking about meat, I'm talking about whole foods. Drinking plenty of water is very important, not just for your skin, but also for your brain. If you drink plenty of water, you will start to see wonders. I've been consistent in drinking water, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm seeing wonders on my skin, okay? I've seen wonders. Moving your body, something I'm not really consistent on, but I'm trying. But moving your body is also essential for waking yourself up and giving yourself some energy. So maybe go outside for a run, maybe go for a skip, maybe stretch in your room, do something active that you can gain energy from. Number 6, test yourself before the exams. So right before the exam, okay, what you're gonna do is you're going to set a day in your calendar and say, this day I'm not going to study. I'll be testing myself and I'll be sleeping enough. The day before your exam, you do need a lot and good amount of sleep. So you're going to say, this day, the day before my test, I will not be studying. I will be testing myself. Download past question papers. I'm going to let you know, okay? Examiners are so lazy to jiggle and change around questions. They keep on using past question papers. One day, I had the biggest miracle last year. A question paper which I practiced the day before was exactly the same. That day, I never turned away from using past question papers. So use past question papers as much as you can. Set some quizzes for yourself and use the flashcard method, okay? Flashcards, set the question in front and write the answers at the back, and then try to ask yourself a question, recall it outside from your memory, and flip the card If the question is right, put it there. If the question is wrong, put it there. That way you're going to know what you need to deal with. You're going to you're going to know that you need to deal with these type of questions. So this is your weakness. Maybe that you just need to refresh your memory, refrain it, and test yourself again. I'm also going to give you this advice. Study as in the same condition of the exam. If your exam is timed, or if your exam is maybe like for 2 hours, time yourself for 2 hours. No cheating, no peeping, no talking to any other person. Sit down in your bedroom or wherever you're studying, as in like you are writing the exam. This is the final and the bonus tip. Work smarter and stay consistent. While you may not see immediate results, stay consistent. Study, 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 and stay consistent. And one thing about studying, you do not need to study the day before. I know it works, but it's not healthy. The higher you go, the more tougher it becomes. You cannot cover up the whole syllabus the night before. That's not good for you. That's not good for your sleep. You need to sleep. You need to rest. You need to have time for friends, social life. You don't need to make everything about your books. But you need to study early. Like now, if you know that your exams are going to start mid-May, study now. You need to start now. That's all I have to say, my babies. I hope that you have loved everything that I've mentioned. Just so you know, I'm also still under research when it comes to studying. But the day I get the fluke closure and everything works perfectly, I'm gonna come back and tell you.